Hi, Gene here with today's thought, which is actually not really a thought, it's a suspicion, and it's a suspicion that I can't really define, just a feeling I have. And this is going to be, well, I was going to say this is going to be one of those times, but actually every time I really welcome your comments and I value your opinions. I read as many as I have time to read, but this is one time when I would really value an opinion, because I'm not sure what's going on, but I have a feeling something is going on. Now, I'm talking about the Hunter Biden laptop. So a little bit of history. Of course, we first heard about the laptop from the New York Post. The New York Post got a scoop. They reported on it. And Twitter shut down, not only shut down the New York Post Twitter account for 2 weeks, but would not let anybody else tweet that story, share that story. They suppressed it. Facebook suppressed it, I believe. Certainly not the conservative social sites, but a lot of the big social media, they suppressed it. And then you had, the news media outside, except for the New York Post, they refused to cover it. But what they did cover was these stories, these rumors, these opinions, especially from the famous 50 or 51 intelligence officials, that the laptop looked like, not that it was, but that it looked like Russian disinformation. And in fact, you'll remember if you watched the presidential debates in 2020 that Trump brought up the laptop, and Biden quoted those intelligence officials whom we now know, I don't want to say necessarily, they had to know that it was authentic, but you know who did know was the Justice Department, the Department of Justice, and they said nothing. But since then, we've had the New York Times, the Washington Post, the media finally admit that the laptop was real. Who was left out, though? The Department of Justice, who knew as far back as 2019 that the laptop and the information on it was and is authentic. So giving birth to these suspicions in my head is this. Here's a headline. We'd like the 2020 election back. DOJ, that would be the Department of Justice, admits it lied about Hunter Biden's laptop. In other words, the Department of Justice now is admitting that they're confessing, that's what the term I would use, they're confessing that, as that headline says, they've been lying about it, because you can lie whether they said it was Russian disinformation or not. Even if they said nothing, you can lie by omission as well as by commission. So just by saying nothing, they are lying by omission, but not anymore. They have now admitted that the laptop that they had since 2019 and that they knew was real, or at least the FBI, the FBI is part of the Justice Department, so they knew it was real, and now they are admitting that it's real. And what's piquing my suspicion, making my suspicion radar go up, is why now? They had all this time to admit that it was authentic, and they could have continued to stonewall on this, but now they are admitting that it is authentic, and why now? And the second reason the reason I'm suspicious is put that together with a date. The date would be February 28th. What is going to happen on February 28th? That's when Hunter Biden is scheduled to sit for his deposition, in the House. So he's going to be deposed on the 28th, and shortly before the 28th, now the Justice Department is saying that the laptop is real, and you can be sure in that deposition that Hunter Biden is going to be questioned about the laptop. And one obvious question would be, is the Department of Justice just admitted, they just acknowledged that the laptop is real. Mr. Biden, Mr. Hunter Biden, is that laptop yours? Is that laptop real? And he's going to be, he's probably going to take the fifth on a lot of questions, and it would be interesting to see if he takes the fifth on that one, because if he does, then he is admitting that, that if he says it's real, that he's incriminating himself, or he could be incriminating himself. So, by the way, let me just say, if I have any people in other countries watching this, taking the fifth, that means declaring the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution is in the Bill of Rights, and one of the clauses in the Fifth Amendment is that you cannot force a witness or a defendant to testify against himself. So if you say, I'm sure, for instance, in England, you have the same right to remain silent, but you don't have a written constitution. We do have a written constitution, and when somebody takes the Fifth Amendment, or takes the fifth, we call it, they're saying, I refuse to answer on the grounds that I may incriminate myself, and then that's so. Bottom line, Hunter does not really have to answer any questions, because he's been indicted in court on a gun charge, and he may be indicted on a FARA charge, Foreign Agent Registration Act. I'm not going to bore everybody with the explanation of that. But he's under indictment, so he's got a perfect right and a perfect reason to refuse to answer questions, just take the fifth. But if he does that, then that is admitting that it's a virtual admission of guilt, but it forces, because you have a balance here, that you have to protect a defendant, and that outweighs, even though it's that you can't just haul people in and torture them and make them confess to a crime. So that's the balance. So you force, by taking the fifth, you force the prosecution, the government in this case, to prove its case. And if it can't prove its case, then the defendant goes free, because that is more important than, as the saying goes, better to let 10 guilty people go free than to wrongfully convict an innocent person. So I've kind of digressed. The point is, again, why are they bringing it? Why are they admitting? Why is the Justice Department admitting that the laptop is real right before Hunter is scheduled to testify? And I don't know. I'm wondering if they're throwing him under the bus. If they're throwing Hunter under the bus, or there has to be a reason. Or put it this way, is it really a coincidence? And that's what I'm suspicious of, that it's not a coincidence. And I guess I'm not smart enough or perceptive enough to exactly figure out what is going on. But maybe one of you has an idea what is going on, and I would love to hear it. So that's about it. That's my, I was going to say that's my thought for today, but that's my suspicion for today, my conundrum, my mystery. I can't give you a definite opinion for today, and I would welcome yours, and that's it. I would also welcome if you could subscribe. That would really be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again, and until I do see all of you again, bye.